Dit is de Space-trein naar Amsterdam Centraal. Space-trein. Beste reizigers, de Space-trein naar de after vertrekt over enkele minuten. Dit is de Space-trein naar Amsterdam Centraal. Space-trein.
And we are live. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my live stream. My name is Tyler. I am your host. And in this stream, we are going to attempt the Slingshot challenge on TryHackMe. Now, as usual, I have not prepped this ahead of time, have not gone through the room ahead of time. If you're new to my stream, what I do is we usually pick different challenges or machines from either TryHackMe or Hack the Box and just dive into it blind and see how we can do. And the whole goal is honestly not even to complete the room. The goal is to learn something. So even if we fail miserably, but we learned something in the process, and that is a win. Now, to be very clear, I am a pen tester. I don't do too many blue team things. When I say I don't do too many, I don't do any. Like where I work, we do straight pen testing. So a lot of the blue team and analysis and threat hunting stuff is brand new to me. So when we dive into these rooms, truly, I am a noob, but I have been working through the SOC level 2 pathway on TryHackMe, and the first challenge room I streamed was Fix It. And I think when I did Fix It initially, I rage quit, like I wasn't able to figure it out, and then I came back on and figured it out once I worked on it offline. This might go the same way. We'll see how this goes, but we're going to dive into the second challenge room from the SOC level 2 pathway, and that is called Slingshot. So without any further ado, let me go ahead and check out the chat and make sure all is good. No one is saying my microphone isn't working, so I'm assuming all that's good. I want to say a special hello to Justin and Alexander and Ready Set Exploit and Neverwhere and Reckless Gizmo. Let me see. We have quite a few people on LinkedIn as well, but they haven't said anything. So, hey, if you are watching, would love to hear from you and would encourage you, we can do this room together. Let me share my screen. Here is Slingshot. I don't actually, oh, it's free. Hey, y'all, I'm going to drop the link to this in all the chat. Let's all do this together. This is completely free, so you don't even need a subscription on TryHackMe to do it. I'm dropping the link to the room in all three chats. So we're live on LinkedIn, Twitch, and YouTube. So I just dropped the link there. Would encourage you, jump into the room, sign into your TryHackMe account, and let's see if we can work through this together. Ready Set Exploit said he had some fun with this one. Sweet. Did you make this room? Oh, no, you didn't. I'm guessing you've at least gone through it, though. All right, well, I haven't even looked at the room, so I'll show you where I've been in the SOC level 2 pathway in general. If I hit dashboard, view path. So here's what I have done. I have done all of log analysis. I have done all of advanced Splunk. In the last stream I did, like, challenge from this room was Fix It. And I've done all of advanced out queries, and kind of the capstone of the advanced out queries is Slingshot. But let's just be real. I'm probably going to need some of this as reference. So I'm going to open up advanced out queries here. I believe this is where we go through it. It's been actually a month, I think, since I went through this, so might have to remind myself of some of the syntax. And the reason it's been that long is I was originally planning on going through this room, but then Advent of Cyber started, so I was streaming Advent of Cyber every single night, so I kind of pushed this one to the side. So I haven't looked at this stuff for quite some time, so we will probably refer back to this room as we work our way through it. But okay, here is Slingshot. Let's go ahead and dive into things. I'll zoom in so you guys can see the chat or the text a little bit better. Slingway Incorporated, a leading toy company, kind of reminds me of Advent of Cyber, has recently noticed suspicious activity on its e-commerce web server. So McGreedy is still attacking us in a completely different room, and potential modifications to its database. To investigate the suspicious activity, they've hired us as a SOC analyst to look into the web server logs and uncover any instances of malicious activity. To aid in your investigation, we have received an Elastic Stack instance containing logs from the suspected attack. Below, you'll find credentials to access the Cabana dashboard. Slingway's IT staff mentioned that suspicious activity started on July 26, 2023. So we'll want to keep that in mind, because when we pull it up, we will set the date so we're not looking at bad data. But by investigating and answering the questions below, we can create a timeline of events to lead the incident response activity. This will allow us to present concise and confident findings that answer questions such as what vulns did the attacker exploit on the web server, what user accounts were compromised, and what data was exfiltrated from the server. Instructions. So go ahead and do this. I did already do this during the 5-minute countdown, so I had a little bit of time to load. But if you haven't already, get your machine booted up. And let's look at the questions we are doing. So we want to know the attacker's IP, the first scanner that the attacker ran against the web server, the user agent of the directory enumeration tool. So it's going to be something like GoBuster or something. In total, how many requested resources on the web server did the attacker fail to find? So we're probably looking at like 404 errors. What is the flag under the interesting directory the attacker found? What login page did the attacker discover using the directory enumeration tool? What was the user agent of the brute force tool the attacker used on the admin panel? What username password combination did the attacker use to gain access to the admin page? What flag was included in the file that the attacker uploaded from the admin directory? What was the first command the attacker ran on a web shell? So we have a web shell going. What file location on the web server did the attacker extract database credits from using LFI? What directory the attacker used to access database manager? What was the name of the database? And what flag does the attacker insert into the database? And then a conclusion. And I do just want to say, like, truly kudos to the team at TryHackMe. Although I am really new to the blue team side of things, I have enjoyed these challenges. Like, usually when I think of challenges, I'm always thinking boot to root, kind of the CTF experience. But these blue team challenges have been really well designed, at least from my limited experience. So even when I fail at them, like I did at Fix It the first time I attempted it, I learned so much through the process. And I'm assuming the same will be true here. And I know we have at least some TryHackMe staff in the chat, so maybe if they hang on and I get completely stuck, they can give me some good hints. But we'll see how we do. Let's go ahead and get this open. Here is our Elastic instance, and we will log. Oh, look at that password! Dang, nice and secure. And it's slowly loading, but we'll get there. Want to make sure I'm not missing anything over on Twitch. Oh yeah, we got some chat on Twitch. Samuel Satire, you're elite. Job well done. Thank you, my friend. I haven't even attempted the room, but your words are very kind. For those of you on LinkedIn, if I don't respond to your message right away, it's because for some reason LinkedIn only shows me comments when I manually refresh it. But I'll still do my best to monitor all three chat. But we have quite a few people on LinkedIn, quite a few people on Twitch. I can't see the number of people on YouTube, but I can see the chat with OBS. So either way, excited to have all of you here. So here is our Elastic instance. And the first thing we need to keep in mind is we have the date right here, June 26, 2023. So the first thing we're going to want to do, I think, I told you it's been quite a while since I've looked at Cabana. Reckless Gizmo says, what is Elastic exactly, by the way? This may answer it better than me, but Elastic reminds me a lot of like Splunk. So it's a spot to analyze logs, look through network traffic logs, all that kind of thing. So it's a SIM, essentially, I think. Someone correct me who actually uses it. I've never used it in the real world, only in labs. HunterBot said, hey, Tyler, after watching your CVE video, I was testing a WordPress theme and found a VOM. I'm going to submit a CVE. I just sent the creator an email showing them the POC. Yo, dude, HunterBot, that is awesome. And in addition, doesn't WordPress right now have like a special bug bounty program for CVEs? I could have swore I saw something in the holidays where they're like tripling payouts of those things. Like usually you don't get paid for CVEs, but I believe WordPress, you not only get a CVE, but it's almost like a bug bounty program, so you get paid. And yeah, if you haven't watched my CVE video, I would encourage you guys to check it out. I released my 8 CVEs that I found. I also created a TryHackMe room that is currently in QA that's called Silver Platter, where you can get hands-on with some of it. And I released a video detailing the entire process of like what is a CVE, an overview of the ones I found, how to find a target, resources that I recommend, going in quite a bit detail in about 16 minutes worth of time. And it was a lot more popular than I was expecting. Like, guys, believe it or not, I had some people, some organizations reach out to me asking if like they could do sponsored videos on my channel. So I'm reviewing those products when I make sure they're solid products, but that's insane to me. I've never had someone like be like, hey, can we pay you to make a video about our product? So we'll see if I end up doing it. I'm only going to do it if I think the products are awesome, and we'll see how that goes. But that video really blew up a lot more than I was expecting. HunterBot said, yeah, the cutoff is 50,000. The theme is just under 50K. Oh, gotcha. That's lame. Still an awesome CVE, though. Keep us posted when you're able to share all those details. And love it. Chat is going off. Glad to hear from all of you. All right, so what was I doing? Oh, July 26, 2023. So if we go over to this date thing right here, we can do absolute. And we want to do July 26, so we'll go to July, and it was 2023, July 26, and we'll just go to the beginning of the day. And we'll do absolute here as well. And same thing, I doubt there's any other extra information. We'll just do July 27th, make sure we're not missing anything to the end of the day, and we'll click update. Okay, so we have all of our records right here. Okay, so it's all loading in here. So you can see all of our records here, and that's what we're going to use to investigate. If we look at, we might have to sort some things by fields. Right now we're just showing timestamp and document, I think. All right. And I think we also, can't you like see stuff visually? Let me see if I remember how to do this. Is it visualize library? Let's just see what this looks like and play around with this a little bit before we even start investigating. Create visualization, I think. Lens, I think. We have that. So if we want to look at like so what log sources do we have? Apache logs, that's an Apache web server. And if we want to set our horizontal access to just like, oops. And our vertical access can be anything here look interesting. You know, we have some CloudTrail stuff. Oh, sweet. So we're going to some AWS things that we're going to look at. Ooh, some S3 buckets. Just do this, just to see what this looks like. Okay, well, there isn't anything on the S3 side of it, but our Slingway Web must be the only host name. So I'm not sure if this will come handy or not. I'm probably just going to use the regular discover field here. We'll just discard changes. But if we look at, oh, I don't see anything in source IP. Maybe we'll build this as we look at what we're analyzing. So let's jump back over to our room. What's the first question? What was the attacker's IP? Well, you would think the source IP would have that information, right? No field data for the current search. All right, I'm already going back over to here. Let me just remember the basic syntax on some of this. So what if we do source IP and wildcard? Wait, why is my time? You guys see my time got flipped there? That might be my issue. I don't know why my time changed, but let's go ahead and fix this. That still doesn't do it. Do any of these show up? Okay, so what field names do we have? We have ID, we have the index, score, agent ID, agent name, agent type. Okay, so these are the fields we can choose from. We can filter by. So we have HTTP URL, log file path. We have the message here, which is probably, yeah, I see remote address right there. Slingway.thm. Okay, so we don't actually have a source IP. But we have it here. So I think we can do, well, first, this is technically an internal IP. So it'd be strange that would be the attacker's IP, but maybe they compromised it internally. Okay, no, that's not the right IP. But that's the information it looks like we have. Let's look at a few other log files here. I mean, this... Can I not make that bigger? There we go. This actually looks some of the, like the hackery stuff. But if that's not the IP... 10.0.2. I mean, it fits that. 10.0.2.15. Oh. Okay. Maybe I just grabbed something wrong. So we at least have the IP. What was the first scanner that the attacker ran against the web server? Well, probably the best we do that is sort by timestamp and then maybe look at the user agent. Sort old new. I think that's what we want to do. And, you know, I want to include a few things here to make it easier to read. So we might want to include things like maybe the HTTP method. I think that might come up. I can honestly move that. And maybe the HTTP URL, that might be a helpful thing to look at as well. Input type, we probably don't need that. Log file path, probably don't need that. Request user agent, I think this is going to be helpful as well for some of those scanning things. So request headers user agent, I want to add that to our table. Okay. I think that information will be helpful. And if we look at the timestamp here, we are starting at the oldest right here, and our user agent, well, we can see kind of what it's, I want to see the response code too. Hold up. Was there a response code? Because then we know, like, hey, what kind of scan is it running? Is it doing like a directory brute forcing? Is it getting a bunch of like file not found errors? Not content length, not content type, not request line. Oh, we don't have HTTP like response code. Is it just in the message or something? No, this is all headers. I would assume we'd be able to see like a 200 code, but I guess maybe not. What was the first scanner that the attacker ran against the web server? This is where I think our user agent might give it away. But maybe not. These all... Oh, Nmap. Here we go. I think that's our answer right there. Nmap scripting engine, possibly. So far, so good. Oh, in message, there is the status code included. Thank you, T. I must just be blind. Is it only in the message? It's not like out here anywhere? I'm guessing there's a way we can pull that out. I'm not entirely sure, but we might have to look that up. Time, transaction ID, remote address, remote port, local address, local port, request, headers, Apple WebKit, version, response. Oh, status 200. Good call. Yep. It is right there. So we're able to see that. So we are going to have to pull that out, and we'll have to figure out the proper way to do that. I think we can filter it with the KQL syntax if I can remember the syntax to do that. Make sure I'm not missing anything over on LinkedIn. Nope. YouTube. Okay, cool. So far, 2 questions down. I'm going to count that as a win. What was the user agent of the directory enumeration tool that the attacker used on the web server? And we can kind of see we have this Nmap type stuff that we see going here. And I'm guessing if they're like me, after Nmap, they're probably going to run something like GoBuster against it. And you can often see that in the user agent, unless you customize it, which you're able to when you run like GoBuster. You can customize a user agent to make it a little less obvious, but most people, myself included, just, oh, there we go, it's GoBuster. Just run GoBuster, and you can see they're just spraying it with stuff. What's the syntax? Okay, so we want Mozilla 5.0 GoBuster. That's going to be the answer to that flag. Or not flag, but question. In total, how many requested resources in the web server did the attacker fail to find? So I'm guessing we're going to have to sort this by that status code. And if we look over here, it should be status code, what, 404, which is what I assumed. So then if we do something like message... Let's go like this. I think if we... Is this filter? Add filter. What if we do message here? Message. Okay, no, we don't want message exists. Message is... Message. I need like message contains 404. You know what I mean? Message is not one of messages exists, so maybe that wouldn't be the right way to do it. Let's go back at my other room here. Okay, so sometimes values in a dataset are nested in a JSON format, which is what that message is. Nested queries allow us to search within these objects without needing external JSON parser. That's exactly what we need. Okay, here's what I'm trying to do. Comments.author. Okay. I see you. So if we do... Won't be author, but if we look at this... Message.response maybe? Okay, it's just for testing. If we do message.response and we just say like okay. Okay, so that's not even correct the way I'm doing it. Empire said, I didn't know TryHackMe had Elastic Steam challenge rooms. That's awesome. Yeah, hey, and I know nothing, or not, I shouldn't say nothing, but I'm very, very newbie at this Elastic stuff. So if you have any hints on how I can do this better, what I'm trying to do right now is look up the status codes, but it's in JSON data in the message field, but I want to see like all the 404. So if we look at message right here, I want to be able to go on this status 200. Yeah, maybe response status T. Let's give that a shot. Response status. Oh, look at that. So then it would just be, oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, 666. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. Reckless Gizmo says, so since you are using Elk here, would this be considered experience from a company's perspective? Yeah, I think so. Because like that's the whole experience problem. How can you get experience without having the role? And honestly, one of the best ways to get experience is doing labs like this. So I would say, yes, this is considered experience in my humble opinion. Let's see if this actually sorted it right. So if we look at this, we should see status code. Oh, I did 200. But that's fine. Let's just see if this is status code 200. Okay, it is 200. So let's change status code to 404. Give it a second to load. I want to verify it's actually showing us 404. Okay, it does look like, based on the output, this would be 404. 404. So I wonder if that's the answer. 1,867. Boom. Go work, team. Teamwork makes the dream work. What is our next question? What is the flag under the interesting directory the attacker found? Okay. The flag under the interesting directory that they found. So first, if we sort it by status code 200, because we know they found it. So then we know they found this here. And if we're looking at directories, let's look at what this looks like again. Where would the flag, do you think, be? Response, status, headers, content length. All right, we have 666 of them, so I don't think I can manually look through these. Oh, this looks interesting. The slicer.php. Oh, that's like a product. All right, let me think of how we would search for this. What is the flag under the interesting directory the attacker found? Message. Trying to think of the best way to do that. Besides, you know, manually looking through every directory. Oh, well, I found it right there. But how would we find that if we didn't know that was the answer? Well, let's go ahead and grab this flag. I was thinking about searching for THM, but obviously that wouldn't work because that's not it. We did find it there. But if we did not know that's where it was at, we see it's in the HTTP URL field. So we could do like response status 200 and HTTP URL flag. Okay. Just go that first. Empire said you can add that field as it has to have HTTP URL. That would knock down some, but not all. Yeah, so that's what I have there. I'm going to try it a different way. I still have the flag, but I want to know like the proper way to do that instead of just scrolling through, because I don't think that's the proper way. T said we could check all status codes to it in GoBusters user agent. That would be possible, but remember, there's like 666. I mean, checking GoBusters user agent would limit it down. That's a good word. But we know it's HTTP URL. If I add filter here and we do URL, oh, we could see all the URLs here. Oh. We don't even see backup though. What did it look like again if I scroll down? I saw it just by scrolling. There it was. So it's HTTP URL backups. So that's why I was thinking like a wildcard and then flag would do the trick. Exists any form equals some value. So if we knew it was backups, but we wouldn't know that it's backups. Add the user agent with GoBuster would filter it too. Good call. So let's do an HTTP URL. Can be anything, right? Let's just make sure that query works so far. It's actually the same amount. Everyone's going to have HTTP URL, so we don't actually need to include that, because even without that, we have the same amount of hits just by doing status code 200. But you're right, if we limit it by GoBuster, that might limit it quite a bit. So if we say and request headers user agent exists. Oh, we see Hydra. That's going to be the answer to another tool. GoBuster and hit update. Oh, look at that. That limits us to nine hits. So that would be the proper way to do it. Shout out Empire. MVP right there. Because then we can easily look, okay, there's the flag. So that would be the proper way to filter and find that answer rather than just scrolling through. What login page did the attacker discover using the directory enumeration tool? Well, we can probably answer that as well. And that's probably going to be register.php would be my guess. Nope, I'm wrong. Maybe that's Hydra. If we sort it by Hydra, since Hydra is a brute forcing tool, I bet we could see what they were trying to brute force. Admin login.php right there, because they're trying to brute force that page. And the user agent, we have that information as well. That's that Mozilla 4.0 Hydra. And is there anything interesting if we click this? Oh, they're base 64 encoding the message. Oh, because it's basic authorization. So that's what they're doing. If you're new to basic authorization, is usually when you log into a website and JavaScript pops up, and then it's base 64 encoding it. So actually, if we take this and we go to cyberchef.io, and give it the input here, and then from base 64, I bet that's going to be the valid password as well, because that was a 200 request. So remember, since we are sorting it by 200 requests, we know that it was likely a successful login. For a successful login, you're probably going to have a 200 request or a 301 request, like a redirect to the login page. But I'm guessing for this instance, the 200 request is the correct login, and so that's probably going to be the correct username and password that the attacker used. Yeah, look at that. That's the next question. Boom. I'm ahead of it without even looking at the questions, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I should be a SOC analyst if pen testing doesn't work out. What was the flag included in the file that the attacker uploaded from the admin directory? Okay, so we're uploading the file from the admin directory, which, let's do HTTP URL. What are our options here? Admin.php. Ooh, we have some LFI. That's going to actually answer the question. I remember that question. Let's answer that one real quick. What file located on the web server did the attacker extract database creds from? Well, we see that right there. etc phpMyAdmin config-db.php. That's often a file in phpMyAdmin that contains the database credentials. I just typed it wrong. I know that's the right answer. Config. Oh, I switched that around. There we go. What directory did the attacker use to access database manager? Okay, let's back up. I'm doing a lot better than I did on Fix It, though. I can tell you guys that right now. What flag was included in the file that the attacker uploaded from the admin directory? So then if we do this from, uploaded from, so we're looking at like a post request is what we'd be looking at. A post request from, I think, admin.php, from the admin directory. Admin.php or admin, I'm not sure. Or settings. You have page, so there's the LFI going on there. Let's try admin. And I actually want to take off my response status code now. I want HTTP request method post, I think. Maybe let's do that first. Let's do HTTP method. Okay, here we go. So if we sort it by post request, we can already see an admin upload feature right here. And this is likely where they're uploading that web shell, possibly. Action upload. We have that password that they're passing it to upload. And then we have, yep, right here, the easy, simple PHP web shell. I've actually used that myself. And then we're echoing a base name, and we're seeing, hey, can we execute PHP? We're doing PHP self. And then we have the flag right there. You guys see that flag? Yes, this will be uploaded to YouTube, absolutely. So I will actually drop my YouTube in the chat over on Twitch. You will notice I don't have my streams on Twitch. I'm streaming all the time, but my streams don't get archived on Twitch because I'm always playing music during the 5-minute countdown, and Twitch hates my music. But on YouTube, I don't start recording until that music's done. So all of my videos end up on YouTube afterwards. So yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that's where you'll be able to find all this. So there we have our flag. What was the first command the attacker ran on the web shell? Oh, we can see the request body there too. There's our, oh, that's where the flag was located in our simple web server. So once we did that, we have this HTTP URL, but it's going to be this easy, simple PHP web shell. And so then we're going to have a GET request to that point, right? I think. And it would probably be admin/easy simple web shell. I mean, I'm not sure where the upload directory is at. If we find the upload directory, okay, that doesn't seem to exist. Maybe it's just uploads. Uploads, that's what I'm looking for. Hey, there we go. Here's exactly what I'm looking for. So now if we update that, we're already sorting it. Oh, actually, I saw the answer. And I think the right way to do this would be something like simple PHP web shell -php command, then wildcard maybe. Yep, that's what I was thinking. So we can actually see right here, they did who am I, they did present working directory, they did ls, and they're seeing if netcat was installed on the system. So the first command is who am I. All right, what directory did the attacker use to access the database manager? First, is there any other commands with this? So we have a flag, database, database, database. Okay, what directory did the attacker use to access the database manager? Was it just phpMyAdmin? Maybe that's too simple. Oh yeah, I'm right. Okay, cool. What was the name of the database that the attacker exported? So I think if we do, let's get this out of here. Look at that. We have database structure server 1, database customer credit cards, Ajax request true, Ajax page request true, no cache token, and I think that may be what we are exporting. Let's look at this request a little closer. And we're passing our phpMyAdmin stuff. What's the question? What's the name that the attacker exported? I think it would be customer credit cards. What flag does the attacker insert into the database? So then we want to see like maybe a put request would be my guess if we're inserting. I don't recall exactly how phpMyAdmin does that from like the GUI, but I'd assume if we're inserting a request in, it's going to be a put request or a post request, possibly, on the phpMyAdmin field. So if we do, oh, How many do we have of this? 145 hits, okay. And $37 hits, that's a little bit less. Table replace. Let's check that out. All right, let's just copy this as URL encoded. Okay. Customer credit cards, table credit cards, go to table SQL PHP, SQL query. We're passing our token stuff, card number, card holder. Okay, so maybe we're not, insert, submit type insert. What flag does the attacker insert into it? I'm not sure if that's our answer there or not. It seems like it might be. Let's look at some of these other things. We'll keep that open there. Okay, that's our only one that seems to actually update stuff, right? These wouldn't do it. So it would have to be that table replace, I'd assume. What's a lint, a PHP? Oh, insert into. Hold up. Good thing my curiosity got the best of me. I think this might actually be our answer. We have insert into. Insert into credit cards, card number, card holder name, expiration date, and then we have our values here. Server, so I think this is actually going to be that flag. Look at that. How long did that take me? 50 minutes is all? Yo, that's what I'm talking about. Conclusion. After completing the log investigation, you can present confident findings that an attacker compromised the web server and database. You managed to follow the timeline of events, allowing for a clear understanding of the incident and actions performed. In response to this incident, Slingway Inc. should address the identified vulnerabilities promptly to enhance the security of its web server. Furthermore, the company should take appropriate steps to notify affected customers about the data breach and implement proactive security measures to mitigate future attacks. Your investigations, comprehensive findings, and actionable insights will enable Slingway Inc. to mitigate the damage caused by the compromised server, bolster its cybersecurity posture, and safeguard its customers' trust. Well done. All right, but let's take it a step further. Oh, I get a badge? What's my badge? Oh, look at that. That's a cool badge. I like the way the elk looks. I'll use that in my video. I completed the Slingshot challenge. Y'all saw it live on stream. What? But let's take it a step further. And let's see if we can kind of analyze this and put together a storyline. So if we were to actually present this to, let's say, the security team and say, hey, here is how you should fix what happened. And yo, hey, thank you for the raid, Morehouse Hacks. Appreciate you with the party of 6. I am just wrapping up shortly, so I won't be on too much longer, but we're going to wrap this up. I just completed this challenge on TryHackMe, kind of a blue team challenge. But here is what we can confidently say. On July 26, 2023, we had an Apache web server compromise. We know that because in Elastic, we are taking everything from Apache logs. So we know that to be the fact. And we know that the attacker's IP was this, which is also an internal IP address. So we know that the attacker must have compromised maybe an employee's workstation. Maybe they're on site and just plugged into the wall. We don't have any VLANs in place to stop them from accessing everything. Either way, we know that there's an internal IP. So we would want to figure out like whose workstation was this IP assigned to on July 26th? Because it's likely if it's a workstation, it's a dynamic IP, right? So it's a different IP each day. So who had that IP allocated on July 26th? Because we'd want to further investigate their workstation because their workstation has seemingly been compromised. Well, once that workstation was compromised with that IP, the attacker ran nmap against our vulnerable Apache web server. So they ran nmap against it, they were enumerating it, and then they ran GoBuster to enumerate all the directories. We have kind of an issue here. The fact that they were running GoBuster as their user agent and none of our tools flagged it, that would be an area for improvement that we would recommend to the security team. We would say, hey, when you see GoBuster, we should have an alert generated that could easily look at the user agent. So the alert would be something like this, like if user agent equals GoBuster or contains GoBuster, you should alert the SOC, because then we need to investigate further before it gets to this point. So remember, defense in depth. This was compromised, and we should also detect that, right? We saw that as well. We could detect that in the logs, and if we can detect it in the logs, well, the SOC should have been able to identify it in real time and stop this attack before it happened. So we should have alerts in place to detect the nmap scripting engine, alert in place to detect GoBuster. We have all these failed failed resources that they weren't able to find. So let's say the attacker masked these things, because you can easily mask the nmap scripting engine and you can mask this user agent, but you can't really mask 1,867 failed requests with the 404 error. So then if these both fail, we should have an alert in place that, let's say, once there's over, 300, 200, even 100 failed requests in a short amount of time, you should alert the SOC because somebody is trying to get access to a web server. Same with this. That would have detected this before they even got to the admin login.php page. Those alerts would have detected, the SOC would have been on it. Same with Hydra. There should be an alert there. We already look at this weak password. Even if the attacker guessed admin login.php and got to this point, this password right here could be easily brute forced with Hydra. It would not take long at all for Hydra to brute force this password because it's such a small password. I wonder if this is even included in rockyou.txt. Let's see. Do I have rockyou.txt on here? Yeah. Look at that. So the password that they're using is actually found in rockyou.txt. So once again, a big no-no. Not only is it a weak password, but it's found in a very common word list here. So really what an attacker should do, or what the defense team should do, is any of your passwords that you're doing, they should be compared to a known breach password list in order to prevent that from happening. What else do we have here? Same with the Webshell, that could have easily be detected. They didn't even change the name. It was easy, simple webshell.php, and we see legit commands going through. All of these things, right? So what directory? So a lot of this would be prevented, just defense in depth and alerts. Anything I miss? Which line? Oh, sorry, I didn't even see your message. I don't remember the password now. Let's go to line 19375 is what we have there. But those would be the things that you could put in place to prevent this attack from happening. And hey, even though my heat is really loud when it turns on above my head. Even though I'm doing this on stream and, of course, explaining this, when you go through a blue team room on TryHackMe, you should do this same practice. Once you've completed the room, try to piece together what the attacker did in a way that's coherent, as if you were presenting it to the cybersecurity team, because if you want to become a SOC analyst, that's a lot of what you're going to be doing, is looking at logs, analyzing attacks like this. But just because you analyze it, that doesn't do anything. What would you suggest needs to be put in place to prevent this from happening? The General said, are you hosting Darth Vader? I'm not, but so I work in my basement, completely unfinished basement. I have this brick wall behind me. I always show this off occasionally on stream. Let me switch to that. This sweet brick wall behind me It's literally just fabric because otherwise it's just like insulation and stuff behind me. My basement's not finished at all, but this is where my office is, and my heater stuff is, and my gas line and stuff is right above my head. So when it goes on, it goes, and that's what you heard. But all right, y'all. We're at about the 1 hour mark. I think I'm going to call it good tonight instead of starting something new. But hey, really do appreciate all of you taking the time to be on this journey with me. And do just want to remind you, I live stream every Wednesday night around this time. I jump on stream, and we usually do a random challenge room from TryHackMe or a random machine from Hack the Box and just stumble our way through it and dive into things. So add it to your calendar. In addition to Wednesdays, I'm often on it other nights randomly, but Wednesday is like my set schedule. But I'm usually streaming anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week, and then all of my streams get posted afterwards on my YouTube channel. So if you have not subbed to my YouTube channel, look up Tyler Ramsby on YouTube, sub to my channel, and you can follow me on there. Matter of fact, as soon as I jump off here, I will begin uploading this video to YouTube, so it is there. So thank you everyone for being here. Reckless Gizmo said, whoa, man, you just shattered my reality with the wall. What you mean it's not real? Yeah, dude, totally not real. So for like $20 on Amazon, I bought 2 photography stands, and this is just like a photography backdrop, like a $20 photography backdrop that I put behind me just so it looks nicer on video calls and live streams. All right, I'm just saying thanks in the chat. Sweet. Well, thank you guys. General said your Evan of Cyberlast challenges were great. Thank you. Hopefully you enjoyed the Papa Shell song. All right, y'all. Thanks for being here. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.